Just very briefly, I'd just like to ask one or two questions from the Minister. I've already said what I had to say, but I just want to ask him, first of all, about the 9% cut to the cap. I mean, as I said earlier, that's a huge concern. Now, the Taoiseach spoke about the 300 million extra, and, you know, we have the Brexit fund, but the Brexit fund is a once-off, and we absolutely have no idea how much money we will get from that. So I just want to ask the Minister, particularly when it comes to rural development payments. Farmers are supposed to meet environmental targets and climate targets, but all they see are cuts to rural development funding. They have the biodiversity strategy to comply with, the Green Deal to comply with. So they are going to incur significant extra costs, and of course there will be significant extra bureaucracy. So what I want to ask you, Minister, is how do you see this working? You as a government can decide that you are going to significantly up the level of co-funding on Pillar 2 payments. We have not done that before, we have cut them back before, but you as a government can do that. Now, I'm not asking you today what level, what rate will you up those payments to, the co-funding rates, but what I am asking is, will you give a commitment to the family farms of Ireland who are listening today that this government will increase the co-funding rate on rural development programmes to the point where they will support farmers, as I said, to meet these climate targets and environmental targets. The other thing, another question is on the Just Transition Fund. Now, from what I read, and I may have not read it correctly, I thought I saw a cut in this fund. I heard other speakers refer to that also, yet I thought I heard the Taoiseach say that the transition fund had been increased. So I'd just like clarity from you on that, because that Just Transition Fund, as you know, Minister, is hugely important, especially for workers in the Midlands. They are relying on this fund. So just to ask what the situation is there. And my final question, and I referred to it at the end of my first intervention, is around the conditionality, the link between the funds, whether they're grants or loans, and the European semester and the country-specific recommendations. I mean, the Dutch did get a sentence or two in there. It's called the Dutch break, which means that they can hold back on payments for a short period of time while they check to see if countries are, if you like, obeying the conditionality rules. Now, that's a very significant move forward. I saw in my time in the Parliament where that conditionality was applied to other funds, to the social fund, to regional funds, etc. So if you could give us some clarity here today on exactly how that conditionality will work if the Commission decides that a member state is not staying within the rules as required, whether it's the Stability and Growth Pact or repayments, etc. So just some clarification on that. I really would appreciate it, Minister. Thank you.